peu plus, s'il te plaît. 19 que j'ai pris tout à l'heure. 19 et demi.
Montoya and Piotr Wisnicki with his best ever qualifying result. Yesterday's winner, Kaz Havercourt, down in 21st after problems in qualifying. Nicola Marinangeli is alongside him. Then it's Victor Bernier and Nicola Baptiste, the two FA Racing teammates. Victor Bernier was due to start on the third row, but had his lap time deleted. Levente Ravezza, Mattias Agazetta are next. Then it's Pietro Armani and Lorenzo Fluxa. After that, we have Santiago Ramos and Hamda Al-Khabaisi on row 15. And rounding out the grid, Gillian Henrion and Maceo Capietto are row 16. Sebastian Ogard and Francesco Braschi come next on row 17. And Sami Megatunif is at the back of the grid. Francesco Braschi and Sami Megatunif have been given grid penalties for both races this weekend after changing the engine or turbo for the third time this season. Well, there you can see the cars getting lined up, ready to go. This is going to be a fascinating race. 3-minute board has gone up at the front of the field. None of the crowd know what the weather's going to do. None of the teams know what the weather is going to do. None of the drivers know what the weather is going to do. One thing all the drivers said to me today is that was one of the most fun races that they had yesterday. Whether they had a good result or a bad result, they were all on the same side of the fence that they really, really enjoyed it. Actually, all the drivers that I spoke to, all of the drivers on the radio to their engineers asking, should we go for wet tyres? Should we stay on the slick tyres? It was a really interesting situation for them out there. They were all on the wet tyres, but it was a case of, shall we go for the slick tyres or shall we stay on the wet tyres? There you can see everyone is going to start this one on slick tyres, and I wouldn't see any other reason why they would see differently. Hadrian David there, the Alpine junior. Here's a fellow Alpine junior, Victor Martins, this morning crowning himself the FIA Formula 3 champion. Congratulations to him. And we must say congratulations to Zane Maloney. He raced in this championship last year. He crowned himself the vice champion of the series, just missing out on the title by 5 points as well. I'm sure we're going to see many drivers from this season jumping up and trying to do the same next year. Well, Dino Beganovic, after a brilliant day yesterday, finished in 4th place, has extended his lead in the championship now to 47 points. He's starting to firmly put one hand on that title. After this, we have just 2 rounds to go. We go to Barcelona next month, and then we go to Mugello, and that is where we will end our season. Yesterday's result to recap for you. Kaz Havercourt took the win from 14th on the grid. Josh Dufek came from P10 to finish in 2nd. Pierre-Louis Chauvet, despite the fact that he hasn't been in a single-seater car for 7 months, came through to finish on the podium. He started in 3rd. He led the race for a while. He led the race going into the final couple of laps after the last last safety car restart. Pierre-Louis Chauvet finished in 3rd place. Dino Beganovic finished in 4th place. Dudu Barrichello finished in 5th place. As I said, that's 3 top 5 finishes in a row for him. He is one of the most informed drivers we have in this championship right now. Joshua Dirksen was in 6th place, a fantastic drive for him. He came from P15 to P6. Gabriele Mini wasn't so happy with his 7th place, said he struggled with the tyre pressures. It was a real gamble yesterday for the teams. The Van Amersfoort teams got it absolutely nailed with that 1-2. A win for Cas Havercourt, a rookie win for Josh Dufek. Lawrence Van Hopen, absolutely delighted for him, coming from 17th up to 8th place. The rookie who was in karting last year, finishing in 8th. Lorenzo Flukes 9th, Mari Boyer finished in 10th place, coming from 23rd. But perhaps one of the drives of the race came from Sami Megatunif. As I said, he has a penalty for changing the engine or turbo for the 3rd time, so has to start both races, like Francesco Braschi, from the back of the field. But yesterday, he came from 36th up to 11th. 25 places he gained. That is the most we have ever seen in a single race. Before that, the record was held by Hadrian David when he gained 22 places at Barcelona last year, but that was beaten by Sami Megatunif, so do be sure to keep an eye on him. Now, Masayo Capietto had a problem in qualifying earlier, hence he starts all the way down in 32nd place. He's been a bit slow to get away, but thankfully he has gotten away all okay now as we get off for the formation lap. So it seems it's going to be a dry start to the race, at least. I don't get much of a view from this commentary box as to what the weather is looking like around the circuit, but a 30 minutes plus 1 lap, a lot can happen in that race. I was speaking to the Trident team about the pit stops. It's something that they've practiced back at the factory, and they said they got it done in about 12 seconds, so only 6 people did the pit stop in total, 1 on each tyre and 2 on the jacks as well, but it was something that they really didn't expect to do. But the Trident team boss was very happy with their performance in the pit stops as well. One thing that's going to come into play today definitely is the push-to-pass system. For those of you new to the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, welcome to the championship. Where have you been all this time? This is round number 8. They get to use the push-to-pass system 5 times throughout the race. It gives them 50 seconds of extra power when they push it. They can use it when they cross the start-finish line at the end of the 1st lap. After that, they can use it whenever they like. When we go to a safety car on the restart, they can use it as soon as they cross that start-finish line. Speaking to Pierre-Louis Chauvet, he said the best places to use it are out of turn 1 and out of turn 3, which I'm sure most of you would have been able to guess, but he absolutely loved using it for the first time yesterday. So we will keep an eye on that when we get to the end of the 1st lap. So Hadrian David on pole position, trying to get another win this season. Dino Beganovic trying to get even closer to that title. 2 rookies then on row number 2, trying to spoil the party. Winner from Spa, Gabriel Bortoletto, who finished on the podium here last year, is on row 3. And Pierre-Louis Chauvet with absolutely nothing to lose alongside him. He is in for the very first time with RPM this weekend, and he was on the podium yesterday. Let's see what happens. We are getting ready to go for round number 8, race number 2 here at the Red Bull Ring. To the left of screen is Dino Beganovic, and to the right is Hadrian David, and we are go at the Red Bull Ring. And a great start there from Hadrian David. A staller, unfortunately, at the back of the field, but everyone else off and away, and David leads us through the 1st corner. Do we get everyone through safely? One of the Tridents running out wide, 2 of the Tridents running out wide, unfortunately, but other than that, everyone is through safely. The top 2 getting away. A battle going on for 3rd place there. Dufek having to defend from Tangavelu. Tangavelu to the right of screen there in the green and orange, trying to go round the outside of Dufek. Dufek holding his line on the inside, and Dufek is held on to 3rd place. I think that was Van Hopen maybe running out a little bit wide out of turn number 3, but David has made a brilliant start out front, and he will lead us down towards turn number 4. Beganovic then in 2nd as Tangavelu going round the outside outside there of Dufek. Dufek isn't having any of it though, and shows him to the gravel. Dufek getting his elbows out when required there. He holds on to third. Here comes Gabriel Bortoletto. He's come through now into fourth place, that looks like, as they make their way in towards turn number 7. Gabriele Mini charging through the order as well, as is Pierre-Louis Chauvet as they come up towards the final 2 corners. Whoa, spinner off into the gravel. 2 spinners. One is Roman Belinsky, the other is an ART car, unfortunately, and I think that's Lawrence Van Hopen who might be off as Gabriele Mini runs wide there, unfortunately. Down through the final corner we go, across the line. Safety car deployed. Safety car has been deployed, and we will find out who that car is for certainty. I think it might be Van Hopen. In fact, it's Esteban Masson. Esteban Masson is out. Lawrence Van Hopen is across the line in 15th place, but Belinsky was definitely off into the gravel. That was the Trident car that looked to go off. Esteban Masson, unfortunately, is off. Lawrence Van Hopen looked like that was the ART that actually ran wide, coming through the penultimate corner, and a safety car has been deployed here at the Red Bull Ring. That's Belinsky, I think, that is out of the race. Jumping out of the car, it is Roman Belinsky, and he will go no further. Let's have a look at the start then. We did have someone stalled towards the back of the field, which I think was Nico Baptiste, because he's dropped all the way to the back. So that was the FA Racing car that didn't get away so well, unfortunately. Everyone else seemed to get away nice and safely. We did get 1 or 2 drivers running wide. Good avoidance by Matteo Zagazzetta, because he was starting right behind Baptiste and got round him. So good avoidance by him as they made their way up towards turn number 1. This is the incident. Belinsky, oh dear. Well, it looks like Masson, I think, ran wide and just went straight into the path of Belinsky. Nowhere for Belinsky to go. Here it is. They made contact. There we go. So they'd made contact through turn number 7. So Masson hadn't run wide. Contact was made between them, and that saw the pair of them gone off. Well, it's hard to say who was at fault there, really, because we only caught the end of the incident, so I wouldn't like to hazard a guess as to who caused that incident. What we do know is that the pair of them had made contact and that both of them are out of the race. And I think we'll leave it at that for the time being and let the stewards decide the rest. Adrian David is our leader, though, as we are behind the safety car. Dino Beganovic is second. Josh Dufek is in 3rd place. Gabriel Bortoletto, 4th place for him, up from 5th. Gabriele Mini in 5th place. He's up 2 places. Pierre-Louis Chauvet is then in 6th. Tangavelu, it's been a bit of a disappointing start for the race for him, but he's still in it. He's still in the top 10. Joshua Dirksen, likewise, in the top 10. 8th place. Tim Tramnitz, 9th. Dudu Barrichello is upper place, 10th place. Delano Vantoff, it's been a disappointing season for him in terms of qualifying, but he's had that breakthrough result today when it comes to qualifying. He's got himself up into in the top 10, 8th place. He's not scored any points in the championship yet. We have to remember he had to sit out a good few rounds after he had to go for some surgery after Monaco. So this is a great opportunity for him. Let's see what he can do from 11th. Paul Aron will be one to watch from 12th place as well. Fornaroli, 13th place, in danger of being caught. He is our rookie leader, but with Josh Dufek up in 3rd place, Josh Dufek can close that gap down. Dufek is only 20 points behind Fornaroli in the rookie standings. As it stands, Dufek is going to score 15 points. Fornaroli is going to score 0 points, so that gap will close to just 5 points. Dufek will move up to 2nd in the rookie standings. He's on a real charge. He'll go into the top 10 overall as well in the championship, doing a superb job here. Boyer is 14th, Van Hopen in 15th place. That's your top 15 so far. One thing we will also see is the push-to-pass system come into play. As soon as that safety car peels in and they cross the line, they will be able to use that. I'm sure we'll see guys getting on the button out of turn 1 and through turn 2. Some of you might be wondering where Teresa Babachkova is. If you weren't with us in qualifying yesterday, just to update you, we did have the incident. If you didn't watch the race yesterday, unfortunately, we had an incident between Teresa Babachkova and Gillian Henrion at the very start of the race, which brought out the red flags whilst we were still behind the safety car, which just goes to show how treacherous the conditions were. The visibility was so poor that Teresa Babachkova just didn't really see Gillian Henrion in front of her. There was contact made. Gillian Henrion had to retire the car because of damage to the rear wing. Teresa Babachkova was able to get out the car and walk away from the incident, but the decision was made later in the day that it was best for her not to go racing today. The team and her didn't feel it was safe enough for her to go racing, so we wish her all the best in recovering from the incident. We hope to see her back racing in the championship sometime again, and we also wish her the best of luck for her test in the FIA Formula 3 car, which she will have at Magny-Cours later this month with our very own Hamda Al-Kibasi, and we wish her all the best of luck for that as well. So excited for Hamda, and the news that she is also going to be testing that FIA F3 car. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 10-second penalty for car 5 for the start procedure infringement. Matteo Capietto, he was slow away on the formation lap. That might be the fact that he'd retaken his position rather than starting at the back of the field, because everyone had passed Matteo Capietto. 10-second penalty for him. That's a real shame. It's sort of going from bad to worse now. He had moved up to 28th place, which doesn't sound great, but he did start down in 32nd. So given he'd only had a lap or so to get forward, he had made some decent progress there, Matteo. It's a real shame for him. So a 10-second penalty for Matteo Capietto. Belinsky and Masson out of the race, unfortunately. And that is why we're behind the safety car. Hopefully we'll see that in very soon, and we will go racing again. Adrian David will be our leader when we do. And this is going to be a game of tactics when we do. There we go, that's the message we wanted to see. Safety car in this lap. Now, those of you who were with us at Paul Ricard, where we had 2 very long straights, you'll remember it was a case of who had pushed a pass left at the end. Those who didn't fell down the order. Those who did went up the order. Adrian David, experienced enough to know that. That's going to be on his mind. I did ask him about that in the interview we did with him earlier. He didn't want to give too much away. For now, though, let's focus on the restart. Push to pass will be active as soon as they cross the start-finish line, but that will certainly be on his mind. That will be on Dino Beganovic's mind. That will be on Josh Dufek's mind. I think the one to watch could be Gabriel Bortoleto in 4th place. Likewise, Gabriele Mini in 5th. Adrian David's got his foot down early, and he's got a big gap as we come in towards the final corner to get this race back underway here at the Red Bull Ring. Race number 2 of round 8 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine is go once more, and Dino Beganovic is closing the gap to Adrian David as they make their way up towards turn number 1, and Gabriel Bortoleto might have to be defended. Whoa, Gabriel Bortoleto runs wide there. Gabriele Mini, watch for the black and white. ART in 5th place, could be on the attack. There he is, pulls over to the right-hand side of screen. Is he going to be on his push to pass, I wonder? I think he might be. Gabriele Mini with that push to pass, trying to go round the outside of Gabriel Bortoleto and makes the move. Great driving by the pair of them. Good respect shown from Gabriel Bortoleto, but a brilliant move pulled off there by Gabriele Mini, who sits 2nd in the championship. Now here comes Pierre-Louis Chauvet in the green and orange RPM car, trying to go around the outside. Behind that, Joshua Dirksen chucked one down the inside there of Owen Tangavelu. The 2 rookies going head-to-head for 7th place there, and Dirksen comes out on top. He's up to 7th place there. 1 place away from where he finished. Whoa, Gabriel Bortoleto running wide there through turn number 6. Gabriel Bortoleto just needs to settle down now. little bit flustered on the first lap of this restart as we see the drivers head up towards the final two corners. This is one of the places where we're going to see track limits monitored. Through here, you've got to have at least one part of the tyre on the red and white part of the runoff curb there. The last two corners is where it's being monitored, and the first corner as well. It's going to be a case of 3 strikes and you're out. You do it 3 times, the black and white flag comes out. After that, penalties start to be awarded as they make their way now up through turn number 1, and we make the run through turn number 2. Are we going to see people on that push to pass button? I think it looks like Tangavellu is doing it as he gets on the attack of Joshua Dirksen, but Dirksen covers it off. Tangavellu going to the outside as we head through turn number 3 here. David leading by half a second over Beganovic out front. Dufek is the quickest of the top 3 though. Dufek on the attack there, you can see him. 3rd in queue in that Van Amersfoort, makes his way down through turn number 4, and Joshua Dufek, not having any of this, wants to get involved in this battle. There is Ford. Oh no, contact between the 2 teammates. The 2 MP Motorsport cars are in the gravel. Delano Vanhoff there and Mari Boyer in the 30, Vanhoff in the 77, both in the gravel at turn number 4. What a shame for the MP Motorsport team, and we are going to see the safety car back out again. No surprise there. Delano Vanhoff is absolutely furious. Was on for potentially his first points finish in this championship after his best ever qualifying. And Delano Vanhoff, I don't think anyone should speak to him for a while. He is going to be absolutely furious after that. Mari Boyer walking away from the incident as well. He picked up a point yesterday. Could have made it a good weekend, adding another couple to that. That's a real shame for the pair of them and the MP Motorsport team. It's been a great weekend for them as a team, as a whole, as we know in other championships, but it's not ended so well for them here at the Red Bull Ring. Safety car back out then. Hadrian David will take control of the pace. Here we go. Well, this was another incident. We had 2 more drivers off as well. That's Sebastian Montoya and Lawrence Van Hopen, the other 2 cars that went off. In fact, there was another car off as well, wasn't there? So Sebastian Montoya had gone off. There was more going off a little bit further back. That looks like one of the KIC cars that went off and managed to keep going. Right, here we go. Delano Vanhoff in the 77, being passed by Fornaroli. Boyer trying to go with him. And I think Delano Vanhoff has every right to be angry with that one. That's a real shame for him. Mari Boyer thought he saw the door open, but it closed on him incredibly quickly there. And as he tried to back out the move, unfortunately, he just did not have the time. And Delano Vanhoff, next thing you know, was facing him. That's a real shame. There's Mari Boyer, who we saw trying to attempt to make that move. Joined the MP team a couple of rounds ago now as we return back to our leaders. So your top 10 now is Hadrian David, Dino Beganovic, Josh Dufek, Gabriele Mini, Gabriel Bortoletto, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, Joshua Dirksen, Tangavellu, Tim Tramnitz and Dudu Barrichello. Tangavellu doing a good job here. Wasn't so happy with how things ended yesterday. Just said him and Pierre-Louis Chauvet went different ways on the setup, and it went very well for Chauvet, as we know, got on the podium. Tangavellu, the way they went with the setup, weather didn't end so well for them, and unfortunately he dropped back. But nevertheless, he's been doing such a superb job since joining that RPM team. Always been qualifying up in the top 10, 3 top 10s since doing so. Tangavellu in seriously good form here. Has a chance to keep that going now. Dudu Barrichello in 10th is going to have his hands full with Paul Aron behind him. We're yet to see some moves from Paul Aron. He'll want this safety car back in ASAP now. There's Kaz Habacourt in the 27. Our winner from yesterday is up to P14. Steady progress possibly helped by the incidents that we've seen. Just seeing Montoya drop to 25th. I'm just going to have a look down. Wisnicki, I think, was one of the cars we saw off, because he's down to 31st place. That's definitely one of the cars we saw off. Fluxa was another one. I believe Ramos was one of the other cars we saw off as well. Right, safety car is coming in this lap. Hadrian David, it was coming up over the crest where he went last time. Beganovic will be wise too, but he won't want to be left standing this time. Dufek will be aware of that as well. Gabriel Bortoletto will be hoping for a much better restart this time, because he's got Chauvet right behind him, who will not be afraid to make a move straight away. And just like he did last time, David has gone in the exact same place, but even this time, Beganovic has been left standing. Even bigger gap for David this time as we get the race back underway here at Red Bull Ring for the third time. Across the line we go to complete lap number 9, and Hadrian David leads us up towards turn number 1. Dino Beganovic in second there, Josh Dufek in third, Gabriele Mini in fourth. Defending a little bit further back there was Kaz Havicourt from Lawrence Van Hopen there, the rookie trying to get past the race winner from yesterday, and Van Hopen's got the run on the inside as they head up towards turn number 3. Great start there from Lawrence Van Hopen, potentially some use of his push to pass. Clever driving from the young rookie, as here comes Paul Aron down the inside of Dudu Barrichello, and the Estonian picks one off there as he comes through turn number 3. That puts Paul Aron into the points now. The two RPM drivers side by side, Chauvet versus Tangavelu. It's hard to know who's on the inside and who's on the outside. We'll find out very, very shortly. What we do know is that they're side by side. Oh no, one of them's gone off into the gravel there as they come through turn number 4, and it's Chauvet who's ahead. Tangavelu has dropped back, and Tangavelu unfortunately now has Fornaroli going around the outside. He's out of the top 10. Tangavelu is out of the points. Real shame after great qualifying performances. Here a little bit further back we see Marinangeli going side by side and off. Marinangeli off in the gravel there, rejoins the circuit and just into the path of Maceo Capietto, that looked like. Thankfully no contact made as they make their way downhill through the final corner. Hadrian David comes across the line. Dino Beganovic in second, Dufek in third, still right with them. Mini in fourth place, and it's Bortoletto, Dirksen, Chauvet, Tramnitz, Aron, Barrichello rounding out your top 10. Fornaroli working his way through the field nicely. That's Montoya going down the inside there to pick up another place. Good driving from Sebastian Montoya, gets past Pietro Armani. Let's return to our leaders. Are we going to see any moves? We look a little bit further back. There's Noel Leon, tries to get down the inside of Tangavelu on home soil there, the Red Bull Junior. We don't quite go to Mexico, so we'll consider this a home race for him. Noel Leon trying to get towards the top 10, and he's doing good so far, up to 13th place in this race so far, trying to get past Owen Tangavelu now. Hadrian David under all sorts of pressure out front though, dealing with it well so far. Here's Gabriel Bortoletto, once again has not been able to keep up with the top 4, and once again going off into the gravel at turn 6 there, and behind that, that's Leonardo Fornaroli going off into the gravel as well. Running in 11th place so far, dropping back. Here is when we saw Nicola Marinangeli going off, was side by side with the one remaining MP car, and goes off, unfortunately, into the gravel, rejoins, and almost into the path of Armani there. You can see in the 6, Armani did well to avoid him. Good driving there from Armani. So it's Megatuniv, who's once again doing a fantastic job. Marinangeli was side by side with Sami Megatuniv. There we see Megatuniv in the 17, who's up to 18th place from 35th on the grid. Megatuniv has gained 17 places in this race so far, and we've only had about 4 or 5 laps of racing. Here's Paul Aron to the right-hand side of the screen, trying to go round the outside of Tim Tramnitz. Tim Tramnitz says, no, you don't. Doing good there, Tim Tramnitz, to hold his own on Paul Aron. But Paul Aron is not going to be having any of this. In the background, we've got one of the ARTs there trying to make a move. That's Lawrence Van Hopen, I think, and Victor Bernier fighting away with each other. But fighting away with each other in our screen here is Paul Aron and Tim Tramnitz. And Tim Tramnitz pushing Paul Aron there to the gravel. And Paul Aron is now tumbling down the order. Paul Aron there is going to drop all the way out of the top 20 potentially now, and Tim Tramnitz holds his own in 8th place. Fantastic racing all round here at the Red Bull Ring. Let's watch this one more time then. Paul Aron trying to go round the outside, an ambitious move to say the least, and Tim Tramnitz politely showing him to the gravel there. Well, it's a risky move trying to go round the outside at that corner, and that's 90% of the time how it ends up when you do. Paul Aron will say he should have gave me more space, but Tim Tramnitz will say he had the inside. That's another one you'd want to leave to the stewards. Up they come over the crest through turn number 1. There's Josh Dufek running in 3rd place, the top rookie so far, on for a double rookie win potentially. Still a long way to go in this race, just under 10 minutes plus the additional lap. Up in the background, whoa, that was one of the Van Amersfoort drivers. That was, I think that was Zagazeta and Rivets going head-to-head coming into the corner. Adrian David, meanwhile, makes his way through turn number 4. Doing a great job holding off the pressure from Dino Beganovic. 6/10 to the good as they crossed the line last time. Josh Dufek doing a really good job to hold his own here amongst 2 title contenders. He's in between 1st and 2nd in the championship, is Josh Dufek. And he's doing great to hold the gap. There's a good move. That's Tim Tramnitz and Dudu Barrichello side by side. And I think, is that a change of position? It might be for 8th place. This is Levente Rivets down the inside of Zagazeta. And Zagazeta has made contact there, unfortunately, with Francesco Braschi. Here's Braschi, locks up into the side of Zagazeta. And that could be a trip to the stewards. Zagazeta in the wrong place, wrong time there, sadly. Back to the leaders. Adrian Davids looks in his mirrors. Josh Dufek is the one that's a little bit closer now to Dino Beganovic in 2nd place. Gabriele Mini in 4th place. Defending here is Tramnitz. Here comes Dudu Barrichello to the outside. Dudu Barrichello trying to take this 8th place. The 2 Trident drivers under all sorts of pressure now. Trying to get Fornaroli is Tangavelu. Tangavelu trying to get back into the points. Here comes the Frenchman at the top of screen, but Dudu Barrichello now goes to the outside. Is he going to be able to try and make the move? Paul Aron couldn't. Tramnitz is going to surely show him to the outside there. He just about gives him enough room, and Barrichello now is going to surely have the inside. Here we go, into 6. Barrichello makes the move. What a fantastic move there from the Brazilian. Goes through up into 8th place. Fantastic driving from both drivers there. Fornaroli in the background, meanwhile, was just able to hold off Owen Tangavelu, and Noel Leon is closing in on all 4 of these drivers. They can see the Red Bull Junior getting closer and closer all the time. Well, Tim Tramnitz there, just by an inch, gave Dudu Barrichello enough move, but Dudu did very good on the brakes to make sure he was ahead going into the corner. And that, I think, made all the difference as they came round the apex. In the background, Beganovic is now under pressure from the rookie, Josh Dufek, who seems to be lining one up here. Are we going to see an attempt from the Van Amersfoort Racing driver? Got his first podium yesterday, and now we want some more. Down towards turn number 3. Here's Dudu Barrichello up through turn number 1, wrestling with the car. You can see just how on the edge they are. They've got to carry so much speed up through turn 1. The climb they make up through there, you can't slow the car down too much because the climb up through the apex is just so steep. If you do, you're going to be bogged down all the way down through turn number 2. So you have to carry a lot of speed. But when you do that, the cars are so light around this circuit, the way they set them up, you can see the effect it makes. Makes for fantastic slow-mos. Brilliant job there by the team filming around the circuit. Here's Josh Dufek, we see, in the number 13. 3rd place in between the drivers, as I said, 1st and 2nd in the championship. Gabriele Mini wants him either out the way or down the inside of Dino Beganovic. Are we going to see Josh Dufek do the latter. I tell you what, Dirksen and Chauvet are not out of this either. We got this four-way fight for the lead. Gabriel Bortoleto is 1.5 seconds behind this, and last time round did a personal best at a 1:27.7. He's just hoping that they fight. Dirksen is defending in 6th place as well. Looks like he's defending from Chauvet now. Up in the background, we might just see that. Here we can see the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but it looked like Dirksen was defending from Chauvet, so we'll monitor that over the next couple of laps. We're into the business end of this race, though. Barrichello still 8th, Tramnitz still 9th, Fornaroli still 10th, but Tangavelu right there in 11th place, trying to get back in the points. Sami Megatunif up to 15th. He's gained 20 places now in this race, and he's 2/10 back from Laurens van Hopen. 10-second penalty, no doubt. No surprise going out to Francesco Braschi there for causing that collision we saw down at turn number 3 with Matthias Zagazzetta. Running wide there was Gabriele Mini. Got to be careful of that. 3 strikes and you're out. Black and white flag going to Tim Tramnitz. He's on his final warning now. Any more and he'll start to have time added to his overall race time. Into the final 3 minutes of this race we go. Through turn number 2 we come now, the left-hander, which leads us into the braking zone. And now Dufek is the one that's dropping slightly back here from Gabriele Mini. Who saved some push to pass left? They get it 5 times, as I said. They get to push it, and it gives them 15 seconds of extra power. Who's got some of that left? Who hasn't? That's what it's going to be a case of. I think Gabriele Mini might have been saving himself for the end of this race. There we see him in the black and white ART. He wants to get past Dufek and after the man that's leading this championship. This is Sebastian Montoya, 18th. Decent recovery for him, given the situation he found himself in at the very start. 5-second penalty going to the number 28. As we see the drivers making their way downhill through turn number 9, Sebastian Ogard, that is sadly. Track limits penalty going out for him. His first time racing in the championship this weekend. Getting up to speed with this car, switching over from the Euro Formula Open. Spanish F4 vice champion last year. Great to have him with us. Hopefully he's here to stay. Right, top 4 on screen. Gap between David and Beganovic is 0.8 of a second. There we see Beganovic making his way up towards turn number 3. Dufek in 3rd, trying to hold that gap to Gabriele Mini in 4th place. As they come now down towards turn number 4, is Dufek going to be able to hold him off? Does Gabriele Mini have push to pass? That's the question now. Dufek really strong on the brakes there down at turn 4, isn't he? Bortoleto 2 seconds back from this. Dirksen, though, has Chauvet all over the back of him. Tramnitz has Fornaroli all over the back of him. Tangavelu is now 10th place. Leon is 11th place as the drivers make their way through turn number 7 and up towards the final 2 corners. Here we see Hadrian David, he's going to squeeze 2 more laps in, and I think this is going to become a battle for 3rd place between Dufek and Mini. Looks like David is away, Beganovic is trying to go with him. Here we can see the race is not over, Beganovic right there with him, and safety car has been deployed. Lorenzo Fluxer, that's a shame. Lorenzo Fluxer in the 16 there, has spun round now. That's, we've got a car off there as well. That's one of the ARTs that's off. Coming out through turn number 1, that's pulled over. That's Laurens van Hopen, and Lorenzo Fluxer is out as well. And I imagine this is how the race will end now. Lorenzo Fluxer is walking away, that's good to see. Let's see what happens. Contact had been made already, coming into turn number 4, spun round. game over. Don't know what's happened to Lawrence Van Hopen, though, as he had a spin, I wonder, coming up through turn number 1, or is it just a simple mechanical issue for him? Whatever it is, that's a real shame for Van Hopen. He was having a really, really strong race. The race will finish behind the safety car. Adrian David will be the man to lead us round when it peels in at the end of the race. That's a real shame that it should end this way, because it was setting up quite nicely, wasn't it, for a good last couple of laps there. But it will be a second podium in a row at this circuit for Adrian David, as the drivers make their way across the start-finish line behind the safety car onto the final lap of the race. Adrian David sits 5th in the championship overall. He has had a couple of wins this season. He, of course, won at Monaco from pole position. Fantastic win that was for him. And he won at Hungary as well, both of them coming from pole position. This will be his 3rd win of the season, his 5th win overall in the championship. That'll move him to 3rd in terms of the overall winners, behind Saucy and Aaron. Championship-wise, he should move up to 4th place as well, past Kaz Habicourt. Those two are in a real fight for that 4th place in the championship. But a strong day for the Alpine Academy, isn't it? An FIA Formula 3 title. Now a win in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and this will give Adrian David some confidence going in to the final 2 rounds of the season. You have to say, even though the race is going to finish like this, he really did deserve it. Controlled the race from the front. His 2 restarts were absolutely spot on. Faultless drive all round for Adrian David. It was a real textbook restart both times for him, and all he has to do now is just lead us round to the start-finish line, and Adrian David will take win number 5 of his FRECA career overall. Here he comes then, 2 more corners to tick off. Adrian David makes his way through the final corner, and for the 3rd time this season, Adrian David will stand on the top step of the podium. He comes across the line, punches the air, he takes the race win here at the Red Bull Ring. Dino Beganovic is back on the podium, and it's back-to-back podiums for Josh Dufek and back-to-back rookie wins for the Van Amersfoort driver. He is absolutely on fire at the moment. What a sublime drive from Josh Dufek. Gabriele Mini is back where he belongs in the top 5. Likewise for Gabriel Bortoleto. He had to really fight with his car at times, but he hung on to it when required, and Gabriel Bortoleto finishes in 5th place. Joshua Dirksen, another brilliant drive, matches his 6th place from yesterday. What a brilliant weekend for him. Pierre-Louis Chauvet, I am so glad you are here to stay, sir. 7th place after a 3rd yesterday. Dudu Barrichello, 4 points finishes in a row. How about that? 8th place for him today. Tim Tramnitz in 9th place. Another driver who is back where he belongs after a terrible race yesterday. Bad luck for him yesterday, picked up damage, but he's back in the top 10 once again. And Leonardo Fornaroli, our rookie points leader for now. He's getting very close with Josh Dufek. There's going to be just 6 points, I believe, between them, doing some very quick maths. Leonardo Fornaroli sits in 10th place. Owen Tangavelu, 11th place, just missing out on the top 10. Likewise, the Red Bull Junior Noel Leon. Victor Bernier finishes in 13th place overall. Good drive from him, coming from 23rd on the grid, gaining 10 places. Kaz Havicourt in 14th. Sami Megatuniv gained 20 places today. What a brilliant job from him overall. Overall, he's gained 45 places this weekend, perhaps the driver of the weekend. Paul Aron in 16th place, Sebastian Montoya in 17th, Levente Revet's 18th. Then we had Armani, Henrion, Baptiste, Ramos, Wisnicki, Alcabasi, Marinangeli was next behind that. 25th was Zagazzetta, then it was Braschi, Capietto, Ogard, Fluxer, Van Hopen, Vantoff, Boyer, Masson and Belinsky. Sadly, Fluxer out of the race at the end, Van Hopen out of the race at the end, which brought out the safety car. Vantoff and Boyer collided down at turn 4, and Masson and Belinsky collided at turn 7. David pulls into the winner's spot. Third time he's done it this season. RSGP on the top step, climbs out of his car, and Hadrian David, another win for him. Win number 5 in his career. Absolutely fantastic job. Did well to hold off Dino Beganovic, who put him under a lot of pressure. There he is, the Ferrari driver, Academy member. And he is getting closer and closer to that title, isn't he? Gets another big step closer with that podium today. That'd almost feel like a race win for him. And how about Josh Dufek, one of the drivers of the weekend as well. 2 rookie wins and 2 podiums as well, having come into this weekend with none. Let's go back to the race start. We had Nico Baptiste still towards the back of the field, but Hadrian David would lead the way from the front of it safely. Dino Beganovic would slot into second. Tim Tramnitz and Leonardo Fornaroli ran wide through the first corner. Then sadly, a tangle of wheels between Esteban Masson and Roman Belinsky, which brought out the first safety car in this race. Once we got going, Hadrian David would get a perfect restart and get an immediate gap over Dino Beganovic. An ambitious attempt of an overtake there from Mari Boyer saw him collide with his MP Motorsport teammate Delano Vantoff. Then we saw Tim Tramnitz show Paul Aron onto the gravel, one that they will have differing opinions of, I'm almost certain of. This is what Francesco Braschi got a 10-second penalty for, colliding straight into the back of Mateusz Zagazzetta. Dudu Barrichello pulled off an absolutely superb move, one of the moves of the weekend, round the outside of Tim Tramnitz, down the inside at turn number 6. Lorenzo Fluxer spun at the end of the race, not sure what it was caused by. That brought out the safety car, and that meant that Hadrian David would lead us home to win the race, take win number 5 of his FRECA career. We get ready for the podium celebrations. We always get our rookie winner up there, but due to the fact that our rookie winner, like yesterday, is already up there, there will be just 3 drivers up there. Josh Dufek, once again, will go up on P3. Gabriele Mini, Gabriel Bortoletto, Josh Dirksen, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, Dudu Barrichello, Tim Tramnitz, and Leonardo Fornaroli round out the points finishers. The point system works the same as Formula 1, top 10 scoring points. 25 going the way of Hadrian David, 18 going to Beganovic, 15 to Dufek, 12 to Mini, 10 to Bortoletto, and then we work our way down for there. We do not give points for pole or for fastest lap. In terms of the rookie point system, it works from their overall points. So Leonardo Fornaroli was on 59 points, so he moves to 60. Josh Dufek was on 39 points, so he moves to 54. So there will just be 6 points in terms of the fight for the rookie title. I think that's actually the more exciting title fight than overall. Between that man there, Josh Dufek, he's 6 points back from the rookie leader, Leonardo Fornaroli, going into the final 2 rounds. Third place then for Josh Dufek, a superb weekend for him. A well done to Dino Beganovic, ends his weekend with a podium. Hadrian David ends his with a race win, as do RSGP. Fantastic job from them. Well done to Josh Dufek. Who would have expected him to be fighting for the rookie title at this stage? Had just 1 point going into Zandvoort, and all of a sudden, he's fought his way through now to be fighting away with Leonardo Fornaroli. But our winner, Hadrian David, 4th in the championship now, goes back ahead of Kaz Havicul. The winning team will be R-Race GP. Good weekend for them. Adrian saying they maybe didn't make quite the decision yesterday, but he did it in qualifying and did the job again today. Well done to Josh Dufek. 2 rookie wins now. That's 2 for the season, both coming on the same weekend. Let's now hear the national anthem of our race winner, France. That's all from the Red Bull Ring. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this weekend. Make sure you join us at doubleheader to close. We begin it with Barcelona on the 15th and 16th of October. For now, it's goodbye.